Hey guys, what's up? Okay, so I'm just doing this video out of pure recreation, but since it's about to be the end of the semester, we've got about a month left. 4 weeks, wow, but it's about to be the end of the semester. I know people have already chosen schools, they're choosing schools, they're looking up what to do to go to school, and I know I looked up videos on YouTube for on advice and what should I do at certain schools I go to. So I'm just making this for the people who want to watch it and need some advice about school. Now, in the process of picking a school, I chose Florida A&M University, also known as FAM, in Tallahassee, Florida, and it is a HBCU. Now, what I can say about this school, the list goes on and on. I mean, school at FAM, and that's what I'm going to talk about. The life you live at FAM is going to be very different from the life you live at home. Unless this is how you live at home. Hey, I don't know your life. But going to FAM, for one, it's a great school just from a community aspect. When I went there the first time to visit during my senior year, I felt so comfortable. I just felt like, oh, this is great. It's home. It's chill. Like, this is nice. But even coming back for orientation, it just felt so community. People were so nice, so welcoming. The orientation leaders, sorry, just introduced themselves with, just so friendly and out there, and like the activities you get to do at orientation, that was probably the best time I've ever had. Like, what if I think about a time where I just had a great time, I'd say orientation, because it was just so fun. You get to see, for most people, the first time, they will see Greeks perform, they'll see dance teams perform, and it's really just an exciting time. So FAMU in itself is great for a community, and that may be because of the small campus, but it's really just family oriented. Now, this is also, I also say that because it is an HBCU. So for me and other African American students like myself, it is you're gonna feel right at home. There's very little people who I see who feel left out at school. And if they choose to kind of hang out by themselves, then it's by choice. Because the people there, I mean, even my friends from orientation who I stayed with and hung out with, I don't even really hang out with them so much now, but if I see them in the cab, I see them at the mall, anything like that, they're just like, hey, what up? Da, 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 da. They're just like, you can meet someone once at FAMU, and they are usually, now I could be wrong, but they're usually very, very welcoming and just friendly, and I haven't had any real issues with anyone there. Now, when it comes to the actual campus, like I said, it's small. FSU is down the street and FSU is huge. It is a very big campus. FAMU is not a very big campus. It's about 15 minutes from one side of the campus to the next, which I actually love, and I think that's what contributes to the community factor, is because it's so easy to get around and you're so easy to see the same people all the time, whereas it's not like you're trying to get from one milestone to the next. So it's really easy, and once you learn the campus, it's so simple. Like, it'll take you 2 seconds to get anywhere, unless you're one of those people who are just like, I mean, if you don't like to walk, you can always just take the bus. That's how I think about it. There's a V1, which only goes around campus, and a V2, which goes slightly off campus. I like to think about it as still on campus because it's really not far enough to be off, but it'll take you to the McDonald's, it'll take you to College Club, which are student apartments close to FAM, and it'll take you basically just in this little region around FAM. And so, yeah, but there's also the M, which will take you really anywhere in Tallahassee you need to go, but you have to really learn the bus system if you're not driving. Another thing, freshmen cannot drive. You cannot have a car unless someone buys you a decal under their name and they give it to you, etc., etc. But you cannot have a car and you have to stay in a dorm. So that is one big thing to think about when going to FAM, because at first, it doesn't sound like a big deal, but dorm living is different for a lot of people, and it's hard for a lot of people. Me personally, I don't love it. And that's only because I'm so used to having my own bathroom, be in my own room. And I know everybody's like, oh, you have to deal with that. But honestly, you don't. You can pick a school where you don't have to deal with that. So it just depends. And as for dorms, girls have, I believe it's 5 choices: Truth, Cropper, Wheatley, Diamond, and McGuinn for dorms. I stay in Cropper Hall. I'm not in Cropper right now, so I can't show you my room. But I chose Cropper due to it being the second nice bathrooms. I would have chose Truth, but Truth was full, of course, because Truth is one of the nicest dorms for girls on campus, and it was full, which, womp, whatever. But, I mean, Cropper's fine, but one thing also to think about is FAM is an HBCU. It's very old, so there is a lot of history, and there are a lot of great things about it. The Black Archives, the Greeks, there's so much history within FAM, but when it comes to the actual conditions of the dorms, it's like, you really have to think about whether or not you want to stay there. But for me, it's not that big of a deal because I choose to be outside of my dorm most of the time anyway. If you think you're going to spend a lot of time in your dorm, then you really want to think about that and meditate on it. But if you spend a lot of your time in the library with your friends, you have older friends who go there, you're not going to be spending a lot of time in your dorm anyway. So it's just going to be your like sleeping headquarters. And moving on, for boys, they have 3 choices, which are Sampson and Young, and then Gibbs. And of course, I'm going to say the same, Sampson and Young, if you have the option, only because it's a newer, nicer dorm. And yeah, who's not going to pick that? So as for dorms, that's it. They also have on-campus apartments. Palmetto North, do not stay there. Palmetto South and Phase 3. Next year, I will be staying in Phase 3, only because I personally think it's the nicest one. Palmetto South is basically the same thing as Phase 3, but something about Phase 3 just makes me think it's nicer. And I got a single. In the apartment, you can either get a double or a single, which means you can either have a room with 2 beds in it or 1, but the singles go really fast, and thank God I got a single. So I'm happy about that. But if you're a freshman, if you qualify, you can stay on campus apartments too, but either way, you're on campus. So as a freshman, you have to stay on campus. Also, the food. The CAF, a lot of people don't like the CAF as much anymore. Me, personally, I don't mind the CAF if I go upstairs. There's a bottom CAF and an upstairs CAF. The bottom CAF will give you the meal of the day, which you can take out and get super salad with. Me personally, I like to have more options, so I would recommend the upstairs CAF just because you can go get a burger, you can get pizza, you can go to the vegan bar that they have now. I just had spinach pizza the other day and I just thought it was amazing. So, that's for food. And as for other food on campus, there's a tropical smoothie on campus, a wow, and Pizza Hut, and like a substation. And there's also a cafe in the library called Jasmine's, and that is where I spend on my Flex Bucks, which are amazing. And you get Flex Bucks when you pick your meal plan. So you just have to go online. There are a bunch of different meal plans that you can pick from. Me personally, I like the 9 meals a week and 350 Flex Bucks because I would rather have tropical smoothie than the cat food. So that's something you just kind of have to figure out for yourself, and you'll learn during orientation. Now, as of classes at FAM, I would say the education is really good, but I feel like the campus itself really focuses on the business and administration program. So for me, if you're trying to go there for arts or something of that sort, I really would consider something different. Me personally, I am involved in the journalism school, which is also one of the bigger programs on that campus. So it's not bad. Their theater program is amazing. They put on fantastic. They're so good. Their plays are really intriguing and they're really good. So it just depends. But if it comes to drawing and the performing arts, as dancing or singing, I really would consider an actual art school and what they have to offer. But the price of FAM is really tempting, so I know that's why a lot of people go there, because it's good education for a good price. So I can understand that. But as of everything else, that's just some basics on going to FAM. That's what it's like. Oh, let me not leave this out. Going to FAM is like going to a fashion show every day. So I know a lot of people get quote unquote peer pressured into being a certain way and looking a certain way. Me personally, I did not have that problem. I myself has always been into hair, makeup, dressing nicely, etc., etc. But I noticed that a lot of people who come there will change over time, become less conservative, become really raunchy, and just a whole bunch of different, things. And you're like, whoa, you were so different first semester. But a lot of people like to say they come out of their shells, but I personally think they kind of change to fit the people around them. So if you do come to FAM, please do not feel peer pressure to change who you are. Be yourself. There's always someone who will understand you and relate to you and, hang out with you. No one is left lonely at FAM. So I encourage you guys to consider all your choices and really look into the school you want to go to, and definitely visit and look into all your options that you can. But I will say I represent Florida A&M University, October 3rd, 1887. What? Bye, guys.